Welcome back. We're here playing Let This Dream Be Forever. Thanks, Hudson and Mika. I definitely miss you. Guys ready? Here we go. A new day is coming. Morning in a new world. This is amazing. I got up and then hastily made the bed. And it's time for the morning routine. My breakfast was quickly. The mood was wonderful. And the school morning didn't weigh on me like it always did before. Nice changes. Having gathered and went outside, I waited. Started. No! Having gathered and went outside, I started to wait for Sayuri. Knowing that she was often late, I had no choice but to be patient. And it's probably the least I can do for her. But now, I can enjoy our street. There was one view from the window, but outside it was completely different, which turned out to be much more wonderful. Now look at the sky, at the clouds, at the sun and birds. Houses similar to Sayuri and mine could be seen in the distance. Forgetting about the time, I look at the asphalt under my feet. Long time no see, Sayuri.
Hello. How long have you been outstanding?
Oh crap, I even jumped a little from fear. Sayuri was looking at me with interest. Apparently, she was amused by my reaction. I was so lost in thought that I didn't even notice her present. Good morning. I don't know how long I've been stuck here. I had to check the time on my phone. What I saw didn't make me happy. Yes, we're late. That's what I thought.
Sorry, you know me, but it would be more pleasant to be like together.
Having said this, she pulled me along with her and we went straight to school. At school, Sayuri wished me good luck and after that we parted ways. Well, it turns out that I'll be late for the second day in a row. Fortunately for me, like yesterday, my lateness wasn't much noticed. I walked over to my desk and quietly greeted Kiba. He smiled and greeted me back. I talked to Sayuri between lessons, but if she wasn't there for some reason, then I found my place with Kiba. Actually, he's not a bad guy, but a little silly. And I'm also acting weird. I was being incredibly happy. I guess I just need to get used to it. But it shouldn't take long. I forgot his voice, so we're gonna come up with a new one. Hey, are you sad again? Kiba started to talk to me in one of my deepest moments of competition. Not that I'm sad, I just think about everything. Will you tell me what, if it's not a secret? If I say that I think about the structure of the universe, movement and time, in multiple dimensions, as well as philosophically and psychologically of people, will you believe me? Kiba chuckled softly, and then he looked at me strangely. A smile never left his face. Yeah, an interesting guy. Well done. Keep it up. Well, our guys are thinking about homework and lessons at best. You're thinking about great things. Kiba was praising me with more mockery than seriousness. Well, thanks. Put an end to our short conversation. Kiba was looking at me for a while, thinking about something. Then he looked away a bit, shifting his attention to something more interesting. But still he continued to stand beside me, making me a strange company. And I was just watching people in the hallway. Well, I have to wait a bit and I can go to the club. What am I supposed to think about other than what happens next? It's not like me. I can always think positively and have fun. Well, in this case, I'm just confused. Yes, that's right. You know, I was pulled out of the familiar environment into everything new and incomprehensible, but everything around is beautiful, I won't argue. The last lesson for today was coming to an end, and I was lazily counting last minutes. I don't usually do this, but today is a special case. At the end of the lesson, I finally relaxed. It was necessary to quickly leave the class without attracting attention. But do I care about someone else's attention here? Kiba was talking to someone, so he didn't notice me when I almost ran out of the room. Score one for me! Sayuri was no longer waiting for me, but I remembered the path. It wasn't difficult for me to get to the right place. The door opened and I was back in that wonderful place. The club looked the same. Nasuki and Yuri glanced at me briefly before going about their business again. Maka at first didn't even pay attention to the open door, but then, looking up from a pile of papers on her desk, she smiled at me in greeting. Well, Sayuri, of course, didn't stand aside. And I'm not complaining, it's just a pleasure to talk to her again. Talk to her, sorry. If everything here is the same as in the game, then we won't be engaging in any club activities now. At the end, we just share poems with each other and then we go home. The usual work of the club, it suits me perfectly. Our club is small, it's not so serious. What am I doing? So isn't it time for me to test the ground for my plans? I need to get to know everyone better and gain confidence. Of course, I know them all very well, but they me quite a bit. Notice Natsuki go to the closet. Yes, she keeps her manga collection there because at home her father would be very unhappy with all this. What am I doing with my life? I got her from my desk, telling Sayuri that I would go get to know the club members better. On the way to Natsuki, notice Yuri peeking out a little from behind her book, apparently interested in my adventures. Hey Natsuki, how are you doing?
Ah! Stupid! Why are you appearing so abruptly?
I looked around her collection. Big collection. I should probably stop doing that. Natsuki neatly placed a volume of manga into the pile. After that, her menacing gaze fell on me.
What do you need here? There's nothing to see here.
I'm sorry, I just thought I'd visit you. I see you have a big collection here.
If you're going to judge my manga, then get the hell out here.
Natsuki pointed to the exit from the room. Don't judge his conclusions. I read manga too. Natsuki was a little surprised, but then she immediately put on her gloomy mask again. I looked at her with a smile.
So you're not going to judge?
Nope, obviously. Maybe you could show something from your collection. Natsuki hesitated a bit, looking to the side where I thought Yuri was sitting. Then she took a very curiously glance at her collection. Well, after her gaze returned to me.
Fine. Only a little, understand?
Okay, let's see what you have. As expected, Natsuki pulled out a volume of manga similar to this game. Seems to be a story about everyday life and about cooking. Well, reading it live will be no less interest, I think. As expected, we sat on the floor against the wall next to the closet. Everything is going as it should so far. I hope we don't stay here too long, so I've always wanted to. I hope we don't stand here too long, since I also wanted to check on Yuri. As in the game, I read peacefully. Natsuki sat next to me and looked at me somewhere else. Oh, she's looking on. Oh my goodness. Sometimes we exchange different thoughts with her. The rest of the club was doing their own thing and we weren't really noticed. Well, I should try to find out more from Natsuki. Wait a minute. She keeps manga at school. Does it mean that it's definitely mistreated at home? Does that mean girl have problems? Natsuki, why keep manga at school and not at home?
You know.
Oh no. Not that. Maybe it's only with Natsuki there are problems? Please let her answer any other reasons but not related to her father. Wait, would she answer me honestly at all?
It's convenient for me to keep it here. Do you have any problem with that?
Well, that was to be expected. Maybe when we get to know each other better, I can ask her about it. But still, something isn't right here. For now, I would assume that my fears have been confirmed and she has big problems at home.
Are you listening?
Natsuki's voice interrupted my thoughts. I'd already forgotten that I was sitting next to her. Yes, let's continue. After that, everything was normal. I don't know how much time we spent like this. I will interrupt our nice gatherings, but it would be rude. Okay, I still have time to visit Yuri tomorrow. Okay, I'll stop. This time I'll stop, okay? I promise. Watch.
Okay, everyone. It's time to share our poems.
Monica quite unexpectedly addressed everyone in the room. Natsuki gave me... Oh shoot, sorry. Natsuki gave her a not so pleasant look and stood up. I closed the book and hurried to give it to the owner.
No, take it home. Read this volume by tomorrow. Or maybe not by tomorrow. And be careful with this.
Don't be afraid. I'll be careful. After I put the manga away, Monica came up to me. Dinya, you didn't forget to write a poem for today, did you? Of course I didn't. I like poems. I can but agree with you. I look forward to your creative success. To be honest, I didn't write a new poem, but only took one of my old ones and copied it into a small piece of paper. Yes, I saved my works on a laptop from the real world. I really like my poems. I hope that the girls will like it too. I have something abstract in the lines, but with a gloomy mood. Monica and Yuri would definitely like it. Among my works, I choose the poem I want. I want. I am watching, standing, sitting, even lying down. I took, I get used to. I drown. And it seems to be the same everywhere. No, okay. One more time. I want. I'm watching, standing, sitting, even lying down. I took, I get used to. I drown. And it seems to be the same everywhere. I want to be tear off the whole gray face. Kill myself with a new color. The beam of light around becomes smaller, a bright glare. This is unfair. I want to stand on, down, and an open peak. Fear is scary with a cry, with passion for pain. Scary tear, lose again. And where's my sanity? It's scary to see every detail, revealing in black and white beauty. Decaying, rotten, live the past. Dome and die fast. I burned through the thread, slowly into ashes, enjoying a terrible fire. It's like in my heart, a burning wine. And I even noticed all the burns. I left everything to fate, but leaving everything in the wrong hands. As always, I woke up again. And wait, I suffocate in excitement, and tortured in attempts to keep everything into my own hands again. But without changes, I met only pain. I just want to not fall again. Okay, that's the last time I like this poem. It's associated with sad memories, but nevertheless, I considered it quite successful. Well, can't wait to see the reaction of others. They all hated it. First of all, I approached Sayuri. How could it be the otherwise?
Hello again, Jenna. Ready to exchange poems?
Yeah! Can't wait to share the poem.
Wow, what a spirit. It's unusual to see something like that from you.
Yes, she needs to get used to the new main character.
But I got it all as well. Let me read your poem then.
Sayuri has been reading for a long time. Sayuri, back to Earth?
Eh? Ah, that's great. A poem. I'm sorry, I have such a strange feeling after reading your poem.
What do you mean? Sorry, couldn't find the right words.
So, Gina, why do you write such a poem?
My question took me by surprise. What does it mean? Did she not like it? Well, you know, change emotions and thoughts appeared in me, and thanks to all this miracle was born.
Hello, it actually came out super cool. I didn't know you could write something like that.
Quite a weird reaction. Lower expectations for me. Okay.
No, wait. Well, maybe. Why didn't you tell me about this?
No idea. But I like your reaction.
Whew. I'm so glad you joined the Literature Club. Thank you for your hard work for us.
Eh? Well, that's right. Don't think too much about it. After that, we talked a little more. Sayuri found my poem strange and sad, as she later clarified. Well, basically it is. Although it seems that no matter what I write, she will be happy. This is Sayuri after all. Then she showed me her work, and it was the same poem as in the game. Sayuri writes rather strangely at the same time with cheerful notes, but at the same time sad. Sometimes you don't know what is more in work, sadness or joy. Her poems you meet a lot of emotions and feelings. I don't know how to properly criticize something like this. Therefore, my statement about the works of girls would be very boring. I really wanted to know what Monica would say, so in seconds I was sitting next to her. Glad to see you again. From what I can see, you're in a good mood. That's right. And I'm ready to share my poem with you. Maybe you were looking forward to this. Ah, you remember that. Well, you are right. I am interested to know the creative abilities of new members of the club. Well then, let's get down to business. Very good. I like it. I hope it's not just luck. Not really. I've been writing poems for a long time, so I still have some kind of writing style. I think all my work is like something abstract and gloomy. This is a poem for sure. I didn't think you had any experience in this sort of thing. Sayuri has never talked about it. Yes, but it's for the best because I managed to surprise you. Exactly. And you know, my work is also quite abstract, so you should like it. After these words, Monica immediately handed me her poem. I expected to see familiar lines here, but what I saw confused me. It's not at all what it was in the game. so it's definitely not a game in which Monica has her own consciousness. All her poems in the game were about how she realized herself and tries to understand what is happening around her. But the style of writing hasn't changed. Monica wrote very abstract poems and loved to play with space on paper. It's unusual, but a pleasure to read as always. You did great! You are the president here, and probably your work level is an order of magnitude higher than others. Really? I'm glad you like it. But as strange as it may sound, it didn't take very long to write. Same here. Usually the right mood is enough for a good poem. That's a fact. Hope you enjoyed the other girls' poems too. Surely. Well, I'll be waiting for your next work. Now, I have to choose between Yuri and Natsuki. I didn't communicate with the first one today, which means it's time to check how she's doing. Hi. Hi again. I need to be more careful with this person. From what I can see, you're not very happy with all these exchanges. Maybe. But it seemed to me that I could bear it all much easier. Okay then. You will obviously have more writing experience than me, so don't worry. Is this the first time you write poetry? Right. And I like my poems, so I hope you appreciate them well too. Okay. I definitely noticed how Yuri had already read the poem once. After that, Yuri looked for something or read it again. Yeah, I didn't expect Yuri to voice her opinion after the first reading. Although she could be lost in her own little world. Yuri, I think you're reading my poem too long. Oh, sorry. It's just... Yuri was clearly having a hard time finding words in this situation. I have to be patient. But when Yuri knows what she's talking about, her modesty just appears somewhere. It looks like what I will write, but it's like Natsuki also. It looks like you haven't read her poem yet. Our write style's too different in this regard. I'll read her poem soon. Then I will compare. Yes, your poem evokes special emotions and clearly stands out among the works of our girls. I'm glad you like it. Can you tell what prompted you to write something like this? You know, I wrote this poem about a month ago. It's connected with not the best period of my life. My emotions and feelings are simply stated here. Yuri sighed with a smile. It wasn't a sigh of regret or weariness. It was something soothing. She looked at my poem a little more and then returned the sheet. Thanks for sharing. I'd like to see your next poem. Would you like to read mine now? With pleasure. And I saw familiar lines. Yuri tries to use as many metaphors as possibly in her work. And she tries to write the lines in details, putting some deep meaning into them. For me, her poems are a little overworked, but maybe there is something special about it. A very ambitious poem. I like the way you express your feelings in this work. You seem to approach writing with love. I really enjoy writing. It's always relaxing and enjoyable. You won't believe it, but I'm extremely happy because I met people who love to create just like me. Even so, I'm glad that we have such a wonderful person in the world. Judging by the expression on the girl's face, she liked our conversation very much. She wasn't a very attractive character for me in the game, but now it gives me a lot of pleasure to have a lively conversation with her. Now aside for Natsuki, she looked at me strangely when I approached her. Still, she didn't look too gloomy. And again we meet.
Yeah, let's just get this over with.
Is it really so dislike to share your poems?
Well, you know, I don't really want to open myself to someone who I don't know very well.
So this only applies to me? That's no luck. Actually, not very nice. Okay, I'll share the first. Let's try to finish faster. After these words, I handed her my poem. Natsuki's expression changes to a pose of one after reading. What could confuse her there?
I would say that it's similar to Yuri's poem, but it's not that detailed.
Is it good or bad?
I don't know, but you know, you did. As if you combined our two styles of writing.
Natsuki said the last sentence more quietly than usual. Abstract and gloomy plus specifically in words.
Yes! But I'll forget it. I'll let you read my poem. I think you'll find something interesting for yourself in it.
When I took her work, I didn't find anything surprisingly. Everything here was the same as expected. Simple words. There's no hidden meaning behind many strange words. Natsuki writes like this. She is trying to focus all her attention on the message of the poem. But nevertheless, this style may well be good. And sometimes reading something like that is even more pleasant than some fancy works of great authors.
Why are you reading for so long?
This one was clearly different from the others. Your writing style seems very interesting.
What do you mean? It's not exactly what you might like.
Your style immediately welcomes the reader and calms him. Very often, something like this will be much more pleasant to read.
You really don't think so? Do you?
There was some curiosity in Natsuki's voice. I really think so. Or does it sound like it's all a lie?
I thought somebody would come to us.
Do you say something?
Nothing. So, thanks for sharing. Now get out of here.
Pretty rude, but it's Natsuki. It was pretty good. I'm extremely glad that now I can share my creativity almost every day with the same people as me. I'm sure you're happy to be in good relationships with people who are passionate about the same thing as me. But all this can get boring quickly, however, like any business, if you do it too often. Perhaps Marco will give us breaks, and such days when we share poems won't be very frequent. Now knowing what else to do, I wanted to go to Sayuri. But when I saw Yuri and Natsuki exchange poems, I feel a little tense. Now will be the moment when they start to quarrel. And now I have to solve this problem myself. But I cannot be called a person who could resolve every heated argument. But in the current situation, I have some advantage over the girls. I still know the near future. Wait, what if something changes now? Maybe this time there won't be an argument. I crouched closer to them. Suki still quickly read Yuri's work, but she wasn't somehow annoyed by it. But Yuri doesn't seem to change her mind at all. Everything is like in the game.
I guess you could say it's fancy.
Thanks. Yours is cute. Oh no, now the quarrel cannot be avoided.
Cute? It's clear about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute?
Natsuki said it without anger, but with obvious disappointment. I know that. Sorry. I just meant I was trying to say something nice. Okay, calm down. Now I have to think carefully about my words. I got up from my desk trying to get even closer to the girls.
Something nice? You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it really didn't come out nice at all.
Now Natsuki is speaking more aggressively. I need to stop them now. The volume of the girls' argument begins to increase. It's time to act. I do have a couple of suggestions. Yuri continued to make things worse.
If I was looking for suggestions, I would have to ask someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way.
Hello, girls. How you doing? I see you're discussing each other's work. May I come with you? From such a sharp and unexpected intervention, these two were a little confused. They stood practically between them, looking from Natsuki to Yuri. Wait, don't you like each other's poems? Then tell me why, quickly. I tried to make my lines more of a joke so it wouldn't look so weird. Dana, I think you should do this. Wait, Yuri. I also feel like the first thing you should do is not start treating each other like this. You know, a conversation would turn into an argument. It always happens. And everything comes from out of nowhere.
Are you trying to analyze us?
Let me finish. Don't interrupt me, please. I just want to tell you something. Having heard your conversations, for some reason, I immediately thought that you despise each other's writing styles. Is that so? And now you would start an argument about which style is better and which way would be more beautiful to write? I looked at Natsuki, then at Yuri. Both were silent and looked at me strangely, waiting for further words. I also noticed Sayuri and Monica, who were looking at the three of us in fear. Yuri, perhaps you underestimate your friend's writing style. Or maybe you shouldn't have been so nonchalant about your friend's work. But you too, Natsuki, shouldn't have reacted so harshly to Yuri's words. And if you can't properly communicate with each other and react to certain things, then you need to learn how to do it. I may have sounded stupid, but I don't care. I think my words can affect the girls a little. Perhaps the unexpectedness of my appearance helped in this.
And still, I need to get into someone else's conflict. It's our business with Yuri.
Then I saw Sayuri walking towards us. Yeah, I don't think I can manage these two peacefully without her help.
Stop! Jen is absolutely right. You said a conflict in the club, and indeed, It comes from nowhere. You don't want to treat each other like that, do you?
Yuri and Natsuki were even more embarrassed by this. They didn't want to admit their mistakes, but I'm glad it didn't come to something bad. I'm sorry, Natsuki. I shouldn't have thoughtless judged by your work. Natsuki was clearly embarrassed by her friend's first move, choosing the right words and looking away.
I got it. Got it? Don't look at me like that. Sorry, okay? For some reason, I was too tense from your words.
In the end, the quarrel came to naught. We managed to settle this unpleasant moment. Most importantly, these two should continue to be more careful with each other from now on. Monika sat back down at the table, clearly breathing a sigh of relief. The girl looked strange. She was probably offended that she didn't resolve this conflict. A few minutes later, everything was back to normal. Our couple looked quite normal, but there was a little heaviness left in the room from previous conversations. After some time, the club president got up from the teacher's table, trying to forget the unpleasant situation and preparing for her next speech.
Okay, everyone. Today we had a special day. We shared a part of ourselves and a part of something beautiful. I hope you all enjoyed it.
Monika calmly examined everyone. And yet, so that we don't get tired of it, we shouldn't do it every day. Otherwise, this business in our club will lose its peculiarity. The girls looked at me strangely, but it only lasted a second. Small returns to the faces of Sayori and Monika, but Yuri and Natsuki looked away.
You're right, Dina. We don't need to turn this into a route.
The routine. After Monika's word, the others returned to their former selves, supporting the two of us.
Just the two of us. We can make it if we try. Just the two.
Sorry. Everyone agreed that such events could be held 2 or 3 times a week, but it's still often for poems. Okay, we'll solve this issue later. Club time has come to an end. It's time to go home to my thoughts. Sayori approached me to go home together. Along the way, we were again chatting about all sorts of nonsense. My friend was very surprised I managed to prevent the girls from quarreling and offered something else for the club because she thought that I would stay quietly on the sidelines. But no, this time there is a more confident person in the place of the protagonist, which means it's time to change this world for the better. But it would be quite difficult. The road home was calm. Sayori and I enjoyed a pleasant, warm day in each other's company. Well, let's see how the second half of the day go. Well, I'm home again. I shorted my thoughts for a bit and then I go to inspect the city. Leaving my backpack in the room, I hurried to make tea and have a small snack. Unfortunately, the fridge for some reason was almost empty. Such news didn't enter into my plan at all. Okay, I have to buy something. Wait, where can I get money? I decided to check my new phone for any text messages from banks or something like that. Fortunately, I managed to quickly stumble upon a message about replenishing my account. It came a few days ago, when I wasn't here yet. Immediately, I came across the name of my mother in the text, so there's no need to worry. So far, I'm provided with my parents' money. Well, problemless. Wait, I also need to find a bank card somewhere. Luck was on my side today, so I found it in one of the jackets in the hallway. A few minutes later, I was already sitting in my room at the laptop. But after a while, I looked at the charge of the laptop. Almost 0. This meant that it was time to put it on charge. Wait a minute. I don't have the wire I need with me. The laptop has a special connector and cable for charging. I definitely need to go to the city. I hope Sayori knows the nearest electronics stores. Having finished my delicious tea, I hurried to ask my friend about a walk into the city. Sayori was free and didn't mind walking. We agreed to meet in half an hour. The weather outside is almost summer, so I can dress lightly. This beautiful nature of the world, this beautiful nature of the new world is waiting for me again. Soon I was waiting outside. I put the laptop in the backpack so it will be easier to carry. A minute later, Sayori came out to me. Good to see you again.
Same here. And now it's so great around that the mood is getting better on its own. But still, where would you like to go?
Can you show me the grocery and electronics store?
Certainly. Let's go.
We were heading towards a noisier street than ours. Next is the main part of the city. I suggested to Yari that we could go for a walk after the stores, but I don't know any places where we could go together and relax. In fact, I was starting to get annoyed that I was acting like I had absolutely no interest in everything around me. When will I return to a state where every dialogue was a joke? Okay, I just need to get used to the new world. First of all, we look for a cable for my laptop. I gave my miracle of technology to the workers. It remains to wait for the desired wire. Sarah and I look at each other in anticipation, sometimes laughing at stupid things. After some checks, the wire was still bought. I left the store in a better mood. It even seemed to me as if Sayori had clearly noticed this and also began to smile. After stuffing everything we needed into the backpack, we went to the next stop. I had to look at my companion along the way, hoping that she didn't notice. She looked in all directions as if seeing everything for the first time. Funny reaction. But she's also not always so happy. Depression is to blame.
What are you thinking about?
Sorry, pulled me out of my thoughts. Just about the great philosophy and the meaning of life.
But seriously.
Seriously? Do you think such thoughts are forbidden or not very popular? Wrong.
Well, okay. Meanie?
Yes, with me, the topics of conversation are the most incomprehensible and insane. Recalling old walks with one person from the real world, I can say that in terms of support conversation, I haven't changed. Sometimes I lead a conversation and support it easily, and other times I turn it into some kind of unsuccessful course. Now it was the first case, I was lucky. I really hope I didn't spoil Sayori's walk. At some time we were already standing at the right store. It's probably cooler inside the store than outside. When Sayori entered the store, she mainly went in search of sweets. It seems that her eyes now looked in both directions as if she were a pigeon. I decided to leave Sayori to wander around the store on her own. Having collected a few more goods, I went to my companion who had long gone been lost among the most bright package of sweets. This is surprisingly, on the shelf sometimes lay such miracles that attract even my attention. I started to get some more sweets for tea, and then I started getting Sayori out of the store.
Wait, are we not buying any of this?
Don't worry, I already bought everything I need.
Oh, then I take some for myself.
Sayori ran away, but then, as if remembering something, she came back.
Well, could you lend me some money?
Sayori looked at me with the most innocent expression on her face and a soft smile. I need to save this money and not waste it on something like that.
Hey, you're not serious, are you?
No, I would merely agree if I had a stable income. But in the current situation, I need to think about saving. Okay, just once. So, take what you need, but just a little bit.
Thanks.
Well, let's wait a bit. I hope you won't stay there for too long. After a while, Sayori and I finally left the store. Many of the items Sayori had collected had to be returned because they were too expensive. Before we went for a walk, we decided to drop by my house to sort out all the unnecessary bags. I wouldn't mind sitting at home for a couple of hours actually, but as long as it's so cool on the street, I'll be happy about it. So, let's go for a walk! Ways to know as Sayori and I find ourselves in the sun again. So, do you have any ideas where to go? I don't remember much here. I asked this, replacing I don't know with I don't remember.
I know one great place. You will definitely remember it.
I'm afraid I won't be able to remember a place I've never seen. But I will try to pretend that I remember it. Or is it not worth it? All these thoughts haunted me on the way there. What is Sayori thinking next to me? I don't know. Probably thinking about something simple. I should do the same, put everything unnecessary aside for these moments. But we still have time to walk a lot, right? Sayori, how you doing at school?
Well, you probably know. Nothing changes.
Sleeping at math but working at literature? Or something like that?
Almost. I like it when you can do something creative in school.
Yes, you and I are a little different here. Still, I like math, physics, and something like that. What's it love to create, you know?
At least you agree with me on the last one. I can express my feelings in math. Why do we need math?
Oh, Sayori. Almost everything around you right now is created by science, like mathematics. rejoice in beauty, and you can express feelings and communication with me. At the last phrase, I even winked a little. What a jerk. Sawyer looked at me strangely, thinking about something. But then apparently she gave up, smiled and seemed to immediately forget about this topic.
As you say.
Not bad. Soon in the distance, we could see a park with a lake nearby. There was a stone path in the park. Next to it were beautiful benches and stylish dark-colored lanterns, very suitable for this place. When I saw such a picturesque park, I was even a little inspired. Sari seemed to notice this, so she got my arm and quickly led me closer to the park. I wasn't against such movements. I began to look around inside the park. I looked at all these wonderful wonders of nature, although surrounded by only various greenery, but at the moment, how beautiful everything was around. Together with Sayori, I felt calmer, and this gave me more freedom to enjoy the world around me. Somewhere rows of bushes were planted, and in some places they were rare. Some were surrounded by stones, and some were embellished with something else. Some places were divided, so the park didn't seem like a single area of everything in a row, but was something kind of well thought out of the system. Along with many beautiful bushes and trees, various flowers were naturally planted here. They made this place more special. Without them, everything here would be a little less interesting, and the general view would remain just green. And everything here is designed so that each detail complements the other in its own way, creating some kind of magical picture. The people in the pig park seemed to look very happy. There were no those who sat alone. There were no those who you look at with hostility. Everything seemed so normal, as if this wasn't an ordinary park, but some kind of paradise, far from the rest of the world. And I also smiled, maybe stupidly, maybe strangely, but I smiled sincerely, and somehow by itself. I need to be very grateful to Sari for taking me here. From this whole picture, sometimes I just got lost, looking from one place to another. Luckily, Sari snapped me out of my reverie with a random question and phrases. This park, was nature so beautiful in our world too? Has it always been so great, but I didn't notice it? Or only here I can find something beautiful? This is my dream after all. It would be stupid to leave something bad here. Then we got to the lake and sat on the benches. And I would just silently admire the water for some time, sometimes passing ducks and the distant landscape on the other side. I admired not only all this, but also one girl nearby. Good thing she didn't notice it.
Where are you looking at?
Sawyer immediately broke my assumptions. Nature? Sarah chuckled softly and then pointed her finger at another flock of ducks floating about their business. Sometimes they dive, sometimes they resurface. What am I talking about? The movement's ruined! I was ready to go somewhere else, within the park of course. But Sarah, for some reason, didn't want to run away from this shore somewhere. She just smiled and seemed to give herself completely to the moment. I would like to give myself to all of these moments now. I didn't want to spoil the moments with my objections to going to another part of the park, so I tried to cut the calm. After all, Sari sighed and stood up. This sigh wasn't heavy. She had clearly enjoyed our stop by the water, but now she was ready to move on. Well, and I just got the call. We walked through the park and sometimes chatted about something. Yes, this time I felt happy. I felt alive. The smile on my face keeps slipping, even if there was no room for jokes in our conversation. It was not for me to be there. Of course, where else could I get so many emotions? Such a simple walk, but so many feelings delivered to my heart. Soon we returned from the park and were already standing at my house. Evening. The sun was setting below the horizon, giving us its warm and pleasant light. I love this summer evening mood, even though it's not summer. How many such evenings do I have at my disposal? I want to know this now and not at some spontaneous moment of being here.
Thanks for today. We had a wonderful one. I hope for something like this again.
No problem. I was glad to have such a day too. Why don't we continue at home then? Sari looked at me with a calm smile.
I love to, but you know we have homework, right?
Oh crap. Oops, I said it out loud. I mean, I remember, of course.
Then that's all for today. Thanks again. See you tomorrow.
She waved her hand at me and I followed her with my eyes. The wind was getting cooler, but I was too well warmed up by our walk. It's time to go home. Home, my sweet home. My mood was wonderful. It's time to get down to business. With good thoughts, I began to empty the grocery bag, filling my fridge with a bunch of interesting things. Having finished with the package, I put the kettle on to warm up and run upstairs to my room to quickly put the laptop on charge. After that, I finally can lie down on the bed and rest. But in this case, I rest from rest, even without doing anything useful during the day. Again! So, because of all of this moving to a new world, I forgot that I decided not to mess around anymore, but to do something useful. Something like additional self-study or some chores around the house. Language lessons with a tutor, motion design, programming, creative writing. Basically, that's all. It turns out that I'm not very busy with something. All this can be done every day and quite successfully, but for me, this comes out through strength. I decided to do some more research. I also decided to find Sayuri's account through the protagonist's account. Creep. To find the accounts of other girls from the club and add to friends. Good idea. I downloaded some of the games left to me. But what about them just the same? The authors are the same. The search gives out the same people as before. So after all famous personalities have left me forever. I have to deal with all this, what's left and what's not. In general, I spent the time quite cheerfully forgetting about my great mission of salvation. But still, do I sometimes need to relax my head from all sorts of things? Though I seem to be flooding it with useless information again. If you want to figure out a little about what was happening, figure it out in a new way. After rummaging on my laptop and on the computer of the main character, I more or less understood everything. On my laptop, I am subscribed to certain channels, groups, and the like, but everything is quiet there. There's nothing else. And again, after trying to find it all on the computer, I managed to see the things I needed. And new posts, videos, and ads are already appearing here. And what happens in the end? The groups and people I see on my device are very different from those I see on the protagonist's laptop. But outwardly, all of this remains unchanged. As if I had followed a fake link or someone would have created fake channels. But now I understand. Now all isn't lost. So in this world, there is everything that was before. But again, there is one problem. This game, Doki Doki Literature Club, is nowhere else in this world. There's nothing left of it, no mentions, but still, it remained on my laptop. Considering that he isn't subject to the laws of this world, this is a priceless piece of my past. No one should know about it. What would happen if, for example, Sayuri sees a game with her participation at my place? It'd be very strange. After all the searching, I decided to have a snack. By the way, if everything goes right, the school festivals will come soon. And the events at the school, all clubs will be able to show themselves and invite as many participants as possible. There will be a lot of food, fun, good mood, and people. To be honest, I didn't want to invite someone to the club at all. Something like that shouldn't be in my dream. 5 of us will be enough. But will I be able to change something? I will still have to support Monica in her quest to create a club where there will be a lot of people and everyone will be happy. Well, they will get my support, but will anyone join the club? Okay, it's useless for me to think about it. Study did occupy my thoughts. I tried to focus on all of this, but thoughts about the club and its member only came into my head, and I should come up with a solution to various possible unpleasant outcomes. But contenting ways didn't come to mind. There were plans that also lacked something. Therefore, I only have approximately outlines of my action. And even with all of that, I still can't think of a solution to Natsuki's problem. Moving to my house won't be a solution, and she can't do it yet. She needs to wait 18 years so that she can go somewhere else from her home herself. Perhaps to think about this last day after solving our problems of the others. First of all, I would like to take on serious problems. I spent the whole evening thinking like this. Homework was done. Yeah, I'm in a weird mood. I want to change my surroundings, so I took my laptop and headed to the kitchen. Here I can sometimes admire the view from the window. Such an environment was more inspiring. And of course, there was a quick access to the fridge. Sorry would appreciate it. It was getting late, at least for me. Usually at this hour I went to bed, but now I'm not sleepy. There were completely different thoughts in my head. Well, I'll go for a walk. It was already getting dark, the wind was quite cold, so I had to dress warmly. At the exit from the house, I spontaneously realized I didn't know places to go. The only thing on my mind was the park that Sarah and I went to. Yo, it's a good place. Having decided on a place, I quietly walked in the right direction, simultaneously thinking about the almost silent atmosphere at night made it possible to relax. Maybe I wouldn't mind a pair of headphones and some music, but not this time. Now nature called a beautiful sound from all sides. I reached the already familiar park with relaxed gates and a calm atmosphere. There was a bench waiting for me on it, which I could look at the water. I like it. At night, this place seems more mysterious and romantic. Someday, Sarah and I would do well to visit this place at this time too. Somewhere in half an hour, according to my feelings, I noticed someone's figure not far from me. The figure walked in the light of the lantern, and I recognized it was Yuri. Now that's interesting. Yuri noticed me, got a little embarrassed and surprised, and then slowly moved closer.
Hello. I'm not disturbing you, right?
It's okay.
Thanks.
After saying that, Yuri immediately sat down next to me. I think Yuri is in the best atmosphere for reflection and revelation right now. But perhaps it was me who disturbed this atmosphere with my presence. However, we were sitting in silence for a while. It must have been something like a night out for Yuri, so she was in no hurry to start a conversation. And why was the conversation needed in such a beautiful place at such a wonderful time? Yeah.
What brought you here?
Finally, Yuri broke the silence. Today to go for a walk before bed. Usually at this time, I'm already asleep, but today for some reason I wanted to unwind.
Familiar feeling. This is a great place to cheer your mind. Or find some inspiration and fill your head with something beautiful.
Yuri took a deep breath on the cool air. Now her image of a quiet person was suited the environment.
I come here very often. It's a special place for me. It's not just a beautiful park. Everything here invokes some kind of worth feeling and soothing.
After saying that, Yuri smiled slightly.
Everyone should have a place to feel really good and pleasant.
And soon we were temporarily silent again. The water was still, the night lights gave it some mystery. The noise of foliage and nocturnal insects was now very clearly audible, creating some kind of pleasant ambient noise. Nature seemed very different at the moment.
Do you have such a place?
I don't know.
I need to think.
Although I was already anticipating my answer, and I wanted to immediately answer at home. It's my home that is a place where I will feel good and pleasant, the place where I can relax and unwind. And my place I can live healthy and happy without disturbing anyone. It will always be great. And now I'm talking about my home in the real world. The atmosphere of that life, all those emotions and feelings received there are simply incomparable with anything. Maybe someone would say it should be better further, but I will answer that it shouldn't. I don't want new emotions from some future places. I want to draw only my favorite room, my place, which will always be good. But maybe house in a new world will replace my old one? Isn't that what I wanted? To be in a dream place like this? No, everything is different. There are those people with whom I dream of meeting and making friends. But first of all, I will have to brighten up in their world, revealing them of problems and worries. My best and favorite place is my home.
Home? Perhaps something like that you even expected?
This is bad.
No. Sorry if it sounds so weird. So, for some reason in the short time that I have known you, I've crafted such an image, similar to home comfort.
Wow, that's an interesting image. You like to analyze many things, don't you?
Perhaps a certain analysis of what is happening brings me some sense of control over surrounding actions. I need to first think about how to behave before I act.
You were sitting in silence for a while, staring at the water. And then, taking a deep breath, she added,
I'm sorry about what happened at the club today. I didn't really think before I started arguing with Natsuki.
Everything's fine. It's right behind. I hope there will be no more incidents like this.
I hope so too. You did the right thing by interfering between us. And I even noticed in advance that something wrong could come out of this.
I really didn't want it to get into a big fight.
I'm happy that you managed to be in our club. Even though it's only been a couple of days, I'm sure you're a wonderful person.
Thanks. Although I don't think so. And then our pause in our conversation. Perhaps during these pauses, we are contemplating something great. Maybe we're just admiring the night, or maybe we're trying to clear our heads again from the dialogues that we have just passed. I wonder what many events in my head, many situations, trying to find something without knowing what.
What do you think otherwise?
Once again, Yuri was the first to break the silence. You know me very little. Everyone has their own past, their own secrets, their own thoughts that you can hardly trust anyone.
I understand you. Yeah, we're very similar. And not only us, almost all people are like that.
I would like to become such a person in whom I will see success and courage, without weaknesses, without stupid fears and strange thoughts.
You can't be perfect, but maybe you can get close to something like that.
Probably, you're always trying to spur me at the moment. Do I need to hear those words?
But the mood is still a little better.
Yes, and I definitely need to get better. Yuri smiled after my words. I didn't expect that when I decided to take a walk before going to bed. I would stumble upon Yuri. But still, the moment is coming to an end. Thanks for the company, but it's getting late. And yes, school is tomorrow.
Yes, you're right. Thank you too.
But Yuri didn't get up from the bench. Well, I still got up from the bench, putting an end to our pleasant conversation. After wishing each other good night, we parted ways. Yuri seems to want to stay for a little longer. I feel more tired at home. It's been an interesting day, and I can say with confidence that all my actions were correct. Well, let's find out what will happen next. But now, go sleep. Morning. Road to school. Lessons. Club. House. New acquaintances and new meetings. Everything was new. Everything happened abruptly and unexpectedly. Did I want it? I think yes. Am I being honest with myself? I often lie to myself and even more often to others. But this time I'm telling the truth, right? In the real world, all I could think about was how great it would be to make such unrealistic dream a reality. So, I wanted it. I'll make sure we all feel good. Okay, we'll stop here. Yes, I'm going to do every episode day by day. I don't want it to be long. So, thank you so much for watching. Hope you like part 2. Yeah, with me reading. I think I improved the voices. I don't know. Why am I still talking? Let's end it with the all-time favorite song. Hold on, ready? Here we go. Doki Doki Literature Club. Here we are. Here we come. Yeah! Still cringe, but doesn't matter. Yeah, that's right. I have a